Shortly after 2 p.m. on Tuesday, December 27th, that a 3-week-old infant, Natalee Mibroda, had been pronounced dead at the Indiana Regional Medical Center Emergency Department under suspicious circumstances. The Indiana Station Crime Unit initiated an investigation at that time. Multiple interviews were conducted in the hours following the infant's death. An autopsy conducted in Allegheny County on Wednesday, December 28th, revealed multiple injuries related to the infant's death, and the manner of death was ruled a homicide. Interviews in this case continued into Thursday, December 29th. The investigation revealed that the victim was alone in the care of her father, Clayton Daniel Mibroda, at the time of the incident in their residence in Bolivar, Westmoreland County. The scenario presented by Mr. Mibroda as to what occurred at the residence was not consistent with the injuries that the autopsy revealed. Mibroda was taken into custody by members of the Indiana Crime Unit and charged with 1 count of criminal homicide. He was transported to the Westmoreland County Night Court, where he was arraigned. As this is a non-bondable offense, he was taken to the Westmoreland County Jail, where he remains at this time. This time I'd let Coroner Michael Baker make some comments relative to the autopsy.
Most of the comments that I need to make you've probably already received in your previous news release, but I'll just reiterate them for you. We did conduct an autopsy at the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office on Wednesday, and during that autopsy we determined that Natalee Mibroda had multifocal injuries over various parts of her body, particularly to the head and chest, some of which were inflicted just before the time of death, and at least one of which was probably a day or two old. And it was inflicted, we're not exactly sure how that injury was inflicted or by whom. The cause of death that we've listed in this case is blunt force trauma of the head and chest, and as we've said, that the manner of death has been ruled a homicide at this time.
Can you talk about the bruising to her body, what kind of injuries she had and where?
The child had multiple bruising on her body, particularly about the head and face, and also some areas on the trunk, particularly on the right shoulder, where we were able to isolate a fracture of the right clavicle that had occurred as well. So mostly bilaterally on the face, on both sides of the face, as well as there on the trunk, on the chest.
Is there any way that, I guess her father had said that he dropped her and accidentally kicked her? Is there any way that or the injuries she had?
They would be inconsistent with that story, okay? Usually if you have an accident like that, unless someone's actually falling downstairs and hitting multiple times, they don't usually get multifocal injuries over different parts of their body, which is what happened here. If the child had been injured simply by falling the one time, I would have expected to find one isolated injury, perhaps a head injury, and so on. Certainly nothing like we discovered at the autopsy.
So this was an extreme case of child abuse?
Yes, it was.
Mike, I understand the child was premature. Do you have like her weight or her?
Yes, I can comment on that. This child was born prematurely at Indiana Regional Medical Center on the 7th of December. She was about 6 weeks premature. At birth, she was just a little over 4 pounds, I think 4'2", and at the time of autopsy, she was at 5 pounds. She was a relatively healthy child. For a child who was born prematurely like that, she seemed to be thriving. She seemed to be doing very well. We didn't detect any other previously undiagnosed medical problems or anything with her on autopsy. I think that she was pretty much a healthy child.
Where was the child's mother at the time, before she was brought to the hospital?
She was out of the residence at that time. She was actually attending a physician's appointment for herself at the time that the injuries were likely inflicted.
Does mom or dad have any other children?
There is one other child to this couple. It's a 10-month-old child who's in the custody of a paternal grandmother.
Before or after the charges?
Well, they'd actually, she's only been placed in her grandmother's, in his grandmother's custody since the evening of the incident.
And that child's a boy or a girl?
A boy, 10 months old.
Anything else?
Can we just get, you'd maybe say a few more words about this? Any chance we could see more charges? Any chance mom could be facing charges?
The investigation is ongoing. The members of the crime unit have been in consultation with the district attorney in Westmoreland County. And they do have a meeting, we do have a meeting scheduled with the district attorney next week to discuss the case further.
So this will be prosecuted in Westmoreland?
That's correct. The residence was in Bolivar, Westmoreland County, so charges have been filed in Westmoreland County.
Did you happen to say when the next hearing is for him?
I don't have that. I can get that for
I
you
have
before
it.
I leave, unless somebody else has the hearing.
January 6th.
January
30.
6th, okay.
And how would you classify this in terms of a child abuse case? I mean, how bad were these injuries?
They were bad. These cases are difficult to investigate. The crime unit here acted swiftly in a very professional manner. I give them a lot of credit. These cases are difficult to investigate. Many of the members of the crime unit have children of their own, and that always brings it a little closer to home.
Mike, is this one of the youngest cases like this you've ever investigated?
As far as a child homicide, this is probably the youngest case that I have. 20 days is probably the youngest that I've dealt with. Yes. Probably the littlest child I've dealt with, too, with regard to that.
Will there be an investigation for the 10-month-old for any signs of abuse? Will that follow?
Now, that would be determined by Children and Youth Services.
Okay.
Have the police been to this family's home at all in the past?
I don't know, to be honest with you, if we've been there in the past. Obviously, we were there related to this incident. We served a search warrant there that evening that we were notified of the incident.
Clayton he's been in the paper before. I mean, going back many years, but I don't know if that was all before.
Yeah, the residence is located in Westmoreland, so
Yeah.
Greensburg Station would be the responding station to that,
Okay.
that specific residence. So
Okay.
that I don't know.
So just, Clayton said that he became angry when the child was crying. Can you talk at all about that?
I'm not comfortable talking about the specifics of the interview. Anything else?
Very good.